Cheslinski. I'm the band director at West Hills Intermediate School, and I teach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade band. The band that you saw today was pretty much made of 5th graders and 6th graders. Probably 70% of this band is 5th graders. So we even had a couple 4th graders sprinkled in. Yeah, the way that the band's set up here, we have to meet separately, just because of the way that the recesses are. Our recesses are different, and it's just a unique school. But you know, you can have all these obstacles in your way, and you can let those interfere with the learning, or you can kind of roll with it, and that's what we do here. So, and I think the way the kids play it, you wouldn't even notice that they practice it. Today we played Turbo Rock, and we played that at the band extravaganza, which was January 18th. And the high school band, the junior high school band, Lenape Elementary, and West Hills all participated, and we all played a couple songs. And then we played Star Wars. We're working on that for our spring concert. Obviously it's a movie theme, so the kids get into that, you know. And then we played a little bit of Aztalan and Barrage, and those are two pieces that much more difficult than the other pieces we're playing. They're grade 1 music, which is not for beginner band, and 5th and 6th grade band is more beginner band. So these are grade 1 pieces, which is very easy, which is more for like a 6th or 7th grade band, maybe even 8th grade band. But it's a requirement for this MPA, so you have to play that level. So, you know, it's kind of a stretch for these guys, but, you know, they're working hard and they're trying to, you know, get up to that level. You know, at this MPA's, it's a pretty cool thing. We'll go down to Kiski area, and there's going to be 3 judges down there. And it's going to be really nice for the kids because they see me every day, and I tell them, hey, you guys sound great, and this is great, and you know, do this and do that, but there's going to be 3 different people giving them some tips to help them to improve, so I know the learning's just going to go through the roof. And you know, we're hoping to go down there and do very well. They have a scale system. You know, if you reach a certain amount of points, then they're going to tell you you're a superior group. A certain amount of points, you're excellent or good. You know, we're hoping to score pretty good. They feel like we're a really good band. The other thing that I didn't mention was, as part of this too, we have to go down there and we have to sight read a piece of music that we've never seen. They're going to stick music out on the stand in a folder, and then they're going to give us a couple minutes to kind of look down through it, prepare, and then we have to play it the best we can. And then they score us on that too. We also currently have a jazz band here, and 5th and 6th graders participate, 4th grade participates also. And we're going to go down to the primary school. They're reading a book called The Jazz Band, and they asked us if we would come down and play. So we're going to do that. That's going to be around March 20th to the 24th. And then May is spring concert time. So we're going to do our spring concert for the beginners on May 9th, and then May 8th, the band that we saw today, they're going to perform, and then the 5th and 6th grade jazz band's going to perform. And I started a junior high jazz band this year, and they're going to perform in that concert. So lots of stuff coming up.
Megan Henready. I'm the special education teacher in this classroom.
And I'm Courtney Cobley. I'm the regular education teacher in this classroom, and together we co-teach 2 sections of 5th grade reading.
So the way the classroom is set up is we do a little bit of whole group to get them started, and then we usually break up into different groups. Some of the kids work independently, some of the kids work with Miss Cogley, and some work with me. And what you saw was they were switching in between class, so they get to kind of go with those of us at some point.
So some days we do the same thing and the kids stay with each of us. Other days we do something different and then they switch. So it lets them get up and move around, kind of take a brain break in between what we're doing each day. So the skill that we're going to work on today is not a new one. It's one that we've practiced before, but one that we need a little bit of work on. We're going to focus on main idea and detail. Who can tell us what they remember about main idea and detail?
We have our reading series designed on kind of like a 7-day plan. And so some days they get to work with the iPads and the computers and the laptops. Other days they're working independently. But most days they do see a teacher at some point during the rotation
In a small group
setting. So that helps keep kids on task. It helps them work at their level, and it helps them feel confident.
Right, and if they're struggling with something, we can kind of focus on that and help them a little bit more individualized attention as compared to just having one teacher in the class.
Permitted something, you published something, maybe you published a book, you released it to the public. Okay? So if you want to check out a new book, it has to be released from the author. Okay? All right, let's look up our next word. We have their independent work tiered, so we have like below level, on level, above level. So, you know, and kids go back and forth between groups. Nothing
They
is...
can always switch groups. We have flexible grouping, so they're not guaranteed. If you're in one group at the beginning of the year, that might not be the group that you end the year with. It's moved depending on their needs and what they're accomplishing.
And this month we're focusing on Black History Month because it's February. I think you saw some of the display outside. They focused on African American inventors. We did a project on that.
These are reading theme. This Unit 3 is on artists and inventors, so that's what we're focusing on.
We've been doing this for a long time, so we finished each other's sentences, as you can see. So it works very well.
Yeah.
If you get along with your co-teacher, it works
great.
really well. So.
My inventor is Garrett August Morgenster. He invented a traffic light signal that made streets safer for people. The red light means stop, so when it's the other person's turn, they can go and don't have a wreck. Yellow light means slow down, and green means go.
Over there where the kids' names are in different colored index cards, that is based on their group. So there's 4 groups, and then their card color tells them what iPad that they go on. So we have a program loaded on the iPad, and we have a group of kids on each color, so they know what color that their name is loaded on. That's what they go on.
Okay.
A lot of what makes the co-teaching room run smoothly is having things color-coded, grouped, organized, so the kids can move freely and know, you know, what group they're in, and you don't have to tell them constantly. It takes a little bit of practice at the beginning of the year, but then after that, things really flow.
And the routine helps with that too. So with every story, we do the same routine so that they know what's expected, and they're really good at switching groups and moving around to where they need to go.
It made you think of what Niagara Falls must sound like. It sounded like big bright drops of water splashing up, over, and up. The drops would fall loud and I like having someone else to rely on to get you through, you know, like the tough days. I will say that helps. But, you know, that way if you forget something, they pick up on it. The kids enjoy it. Like it's someone else to laugh with. It's someone else to share the experiences with. And, you know, it's just like a kind of like co-parenting.
I like how we have 2 different teachers to get 2 different opinions on things. I like how we do text coding and groups. I like how we have 7 days of the week to complete our reading story. We have leveled readers based on our reading story and vocab. And I like how we do the question of the week and our concept map.
Can either of you guys or both of you tell me what's different from having one teacher as opposed to having 2 teachers in the room?
I think I like it better because then we can read the story multiple times, so it's easier. I like it because one teacher teaches us vocab and one teacher teaches us like the question of the week and stuff. And because like when we do different groups, we get to learn different things, so we don't have to do it all in a couple days.
It just
And it
goes
really
together.
helps if we notice there's a few kids that are struggling with something, she can take them or I can take them, and then we can work on something with the rest of the class. Like there's a lot of flexibility and opportunity in it.
You're able to pull those some certain kids that need a little more help, and like she said, can continue on. It's just having an extra set of hands. I
And
mean,
it's
who
good
wouldn't
just
want it?
to have a different aspect. Like she can bring new teaching styles or different things that I do, and
New ideas,
Yeah.
things like that.